Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Dwayne Wade pays respect to birthday twin James Earl Jones. The passing of actor James Earl Jones Monday drew reactions from the famous to everyday people. Jones died at the age of 93. Miami Heat legend Dwayne Wade was among those to pay their respects to the fallen actor. Wade shared the two icons were born on the same day. Here's what Wade posted on X, January 17, 1931. An honor to share a date of birth with this iconic figure. Thank you for what you represented for us. Jones starred in several top movies, including Field of Dreams, Coming to America, The Sandlot, The Lion King, and Conan the Barbarian. He was also the voice for Darth Vader in Star Wars. Jones won 3 Tony Awards, including 2 Emmys and a Grammy. He also won an honorary Oscar in 2011 for Lifetime Achievement. The Heat are faced with their biggest decision of the decade this year, trading or re-signing veteran superstar Jimmy Butler. There's positives and negatives on either side, but CBS Sports believes a world where the Heat move Butler at the trade deadline is ideal. The front office adds serious return by moving him in February, rather than the 35-year-old leaving in free agency for nothing. There's a world in which the Heat could pivot to fully build around Adebayo, trading Butler while his stock is still high and recouping assets, CBS Jasmine Wimbish wrote. It makes far more sense to try and pair Adebayo with someone who's on a similar timeline as him right now, rather than wait to see if Butler can stay healthy enough and waste the height of Adebayo's career. There's an ongoing debate over Adebayo's ability to take on the role of number 1 option. While the 3-time All-Star would need to step up without Butler in the lineup, the Heat's depth could ease some of the pressure. Times, Miami Heat's Pat Riley has fleeced another team in a trade. After his departure from coaching the New York Knicks, Riley came to South Florida in 1995, and has remained an active voice for the team ever since. He was originally the Heat's head coach for years, but eventually became a permanent staple in the franchise's front office as team president. Riley still had executive powers even prior to Spoelstra's rise, and he preferred it that way until wanting to take over coaching duties briefly in 2006. That switch from Riley proved to be the correct one at the time, as his coaching helped lead the Heat to their first-ever championship. He is a 9-time NBA champion as a player, assistant coach, head coach, and executive. From the start of his NBA career through 2023, Riley appeared in 25% of all NBA finals in history as a player, coach, or executive. His greatness is documented by a Hall of Fame career as one of the most brilliant basketball minds of all time. He also has a track record for making aggressive trades, most of which turned out great for the Heat. These are the times he fleeced an opposing front office the most. By the 2014-15 NBA trade deadline, the Heat were desperate for a true point guard to help run the offense. Following LeBron James's free agent departure that previous summer, it was clear that they were missing his playmaking. Point guard duties were split between Mario Chalmers and Norris Cole, which looked a lot worse without James there to carry a lot of ball-handling responsibility. At the time, the Heat were desperate to strengthen that position. Then Phoenix Suns guard Goran Dragic was desperate to leave. Riley is always looking at trades that involve bringing in a disgruntled star, and Dragic certainly was at the time. Riley maneuvered a 3-team trade that was obviously in Miami's favor by bringing in the former Most Improved Player of the Year award winner in Dragic. All Riley had to unload in this deal was Norris Cole, Danny Granger, Justin Hamilton, and Sean Williams, along with a pair of future first-round picks. Although Cole was a rotation piece that contributed to the Heat's back-to-back championships in 2012 and 2013, he couldn't take on an increased role years after. Ultimately, all 4 of Cole, Granger, Hamilton, and Williams didn't last much longer in the NBA following this trade. In one of Riley's first transactions as an executive for the Heat following the end of his New York Knicks tenure, he pulled off a trade for the legendary Tim Hardaway. Coming over from the Golden State Warriors for a few role players, Hardaway was known for his signature crossover and helped lead the Heat to their most successful era to that point. He would get his jersey retired by the Heat and be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Hardaway averaged 17.3 points, 7.8 assists, and 3.2 rebounds during his time in Miami. For his career, he finished as a 5-time NBA All-Star and All-NBA team member, along with becoming an Olympic gold medalist. Considering the fact that Hardaway accomplished significantly more in his career than everyone Miami sent away in the trade combined, it makes this acquisition another historic fleece that Riley pulled off. Miami Heat change camp and sign Malcolm Brogdon and a hard-hitting center. The Miami Heat vice president of basketball operations said during the press conference that they will always be aggressive in trying to make roster upgrades. One of their possible trade options, according to Bleacher Report salary cap expert Eric Pincus, could be Washington Wizards veteran duo Malcolm Brogdon and Jonas Valanciunas. Both fill positions of need for the Miami Heat at center, and point guard Valanciunas have a viable contract for Miami Heat. That he earns almost as much in his next deal, Pincus wrote on September 10. Pincus suggested a trade structure for the Warriors that could entice the Wizards to redirect the veteran duo to the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat duo may need to add a backup point guard with ball-handling skills, but it is a debatable path forward, Pincus wrote, as Brogdon and Valanciunas cannot be traded before December 15. Trading for Brogdon and Valanciunas, who are already in their 30s, is a risky proposition for the Miami Heat, especially if they have to give up one of their 2 available future first-round picks, which will prevent them from at least getting in the conversation for a star swap in the future. This better leads to a significant result in the playoffs, wrote Pincus if the Miami Heat take the initiative in this trade for 2 veteran players in their 30s. But even if the Miami Heat maintain their draft capital, 2 first-round picks aren't enough to land a star, based on the recent price of these blockbuster trades. Brogdon has never played more than 60 games since the 2018-19 season. But when healthy, he is one of the toughest point guards defensively and can knock down 3-point shots at a high clip. He has shot above 41% the past 2 seasons on nearly 5 attempts per game. On the other hand, Valanciunas fits the mold of the hard-hitting rookie center the Miami Heat head coach is looking to develop. You certainly have to look at what I think is a really good cast, a very balanced cast. We would love to, we try, but we would love, at some point, to have another 5-man, a big, hard-hitting 5-man. You look at the Western Conference right now, whether it's Denver, Minnesota, OKC with what they added, certainly Memphis, they'll be back in contention, they added Zach Edey, certain matchups in the playoffs, you're going to need a lot of size. Valanciunas, 7'1", 250 pounds, averaged 12.2 points, 8.8 rebounds, 2.1 assists, and shot 55.9% overall and 30.8% on 3-pointers for the New Orleans Pelicans last season. Before that, he had 5 straight seasons averaging double-digit rebounds. Both veterans fit into the Warriors' schedule to maximize the remaining championship window. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Malcolm Brogdon? Leave your opinion in the comments.